Greetings. My paternal grandfather's pocket watch is a Waltham 1883 in a double hunter case. It was manufactured in 1907. I've completed a manual cleaning. Now I'm going to talk about the surprising things I found during the final inspection of its cleaned parts. My goals for the final inspection were pretty simple. I could have done all these during the manual cleaning, but as this is the first Waltham watch I've ever worked on, I basically wanted to go real slow and work on it in stages. The pivots were clean and I saw no grime when I pegged the jewels. But I found surprises when it came to the end cap jewels and my search for any caked on grime on the parts. The balance staff has two end cap jewels. These are not shock absorbing like Inca block jewels. They are screw set but otherwise unremarkable. The end cap and its associated pierced jewel were each in their own mounts, one flush with the other. The end cap jewel assemblies were very hard to remove. After removing the mounting screws, I had to use a piece of 2 mm diameter pithwood pushed from the pierced jewel side, that is, the side opposite of the mounting screws, to push the assembly out of its hole. I was very careful to not push on the jewel itself. This was way more difficult than I expected it to be. The assembly came out in two parts, one for the end cap and one for the pierced jewel. To clean the end cap, I use a modified technique that I learned from the Vostok Watchy channel. The video URL is on the screen, or you can search for cap jewel cleaning tool to find it. It's a very clever tool. I applied isopropyl alcohol to the flat surface and then gently rubbed it on watch tissue paper. I didn't see a huge win from removing the end cap from its housing, so I left that in place. Reassembly was unremarkable. I found a few surprises when I examined all the part surfaces for caked on gunk that the manual cleaning didn't remove. I found a lot of gunk on flanges and bushings, the mainspring barrel, the keyless works, the jewel wells, and the screw wells, even under some of the screw heads. It was in inner corners of flange lips and on the curved walls of the jewel and screw wells. The naphtha and one dip that I used are powerful solvents. I expected, naively, to find maybe just a couple of caked on areas, but I found quite a few that hadn't been removed by the manual cleaning. I scraped all of them off with pegwood dipped in roncinol or 99% isopropyl alcohol. I found the alcohol worked better because it wasn't as volatile and it didn't evaporate as quickly. I wasn't able to get the underside of screw heads pristine, but they're much cleaner now than they were. By the way, all of the jewels were intact without any cracks. The balance assembly was also challenging. To get at the upper end cap assembly so I could clean its end cap, I had to remove the balance spring. When I did that, the regulator arm went flying off because it was held onto the balance cock by only a circular clip under tension. Then I found that the regulator pins weren't parallel, and I don't believe they had been properly around the hairspring because there was zero clearance between their ends. So I gently realigned the regulator pins using my smallest screwdriver. I had read many warnings online about how easily they can snap off, and some watchmakers in fact advocate leaving them non-parallel in antique watches because that's the lesser of two evils. Then I cleaned the upper end cap assembly, which involved taking a piece of pithwood and pushing it out from the other side and all of that stuff, reset it, mounted the hairspring, which was in fine shape as it turns out, remounted the regulator arm, and moved the end of the hairspring back into place between the regulator pins using my brass tweezers. I had never done any of this before, not even in class, so I was pretty damn proud of myself. From all of this, I learned three things. Manual cleaning won't get off caked on gunk as effectively as I had thought it would. I guess a prolonged dip in an ultrasonic cleaner would have been a lot more effective, but I don't own one of those yet. Two, I did a simple repair, and I extracted stuck screw set jewels just from reading stuff online and using my common sense and being cautious and going slow, and you know what? It felt great. I did it. It is better now than it was before I took a look at it. Three, on the downside, I need to work on going slow. I wasn't as careful in my screwdriver handling as I should have been. I'm ashamed to say there are now 3 tiny scratches on bridges and cocks that weren't there before. You wouldn't see them, but I know they're there. And I feel very guilty about this. I'm determined to improve my screwdriver handling. I must, in the future, be more conscious of slowing down and backing off. And I need to not just be so focused on what I'm doing that I don't remember to do that. That's all for today. The next video will be the lubrication and reassembly of the watch, and maybe my voice will be fully back. Till next time, take care.